but the gas.
What about it?
It's been recalled. Did you not hear about that?
I must not have.
What? You
like
can,
here?
Have you gotten gas in Point Pleasant recently, like for your car?
No. Is it Point Pleasant? Is it West Virginia?
It is just Point Pleasant.
Okay.
You do not get
gas over here.
Okay, good, because if you drive it, your car will explode.
Expensive.
I'm just upset because I filled up my tank. Like, I have a small hybrid car, so it doesn't take a lot of gas money, but still, you can't drive your car in Point Pleasant if you got gas here, because your car will blow up. People have died.
Yeah, just another one of the perks of working here in this strange town.
There's been a lot of weird stuff here. Courthouse blowing up. For me personally, I mean, besides working at the museum, even a lot of weird stuff has happened here, right? Like, one time when I was in school, which I didn't go to school over here, but I knew a kid who did. She transferred from Point, and she said the reason she didn't have a dad was because Mothman ate him, which I guess that's not really a weird thing that happened here so much as it made me wonder how many people tell their kids that. What about you guys? What's some weird stuff that's happened to you?
So these two older guys came in one time, probably in their like 60s, and one of them had already finished his Mothman root beer that you can get at the Point Pleasant Trading Company, Mothman Museum, and Bunker 304, $3.70 after tax. And he asked if he could throw it away in my trash can behind the counter. And I was like, yeah, of course. And so he threw it away, and then his buddy comes up, and he goes to like unzip his pants, and he goes next to the trash can. He goes, "Can I use your trash can? Can I use your trash can? Can I use it?" And so I just stared forward because, like, what are you supposed to do in that moment besides scream internally? And so that's a weird thing that happened to me once in the museum.
I had something weird happen to me once around here. So one day I was working here at the trading company, and I look up and I see little Jamesy Poo running over from the museum kind of frantically like he does sometimes. And he said there's all these stray cats out front, and they're crawling up in people's cars, in the engines like they do sometimes because it's warm, and, they like to hide because they're cats and they're scared. And, I didn't want anything to happen to them, so I went out and I started crawling up in these people's cars trying to get to the cats. And, well, I couldn't get them to come out of the cars, and these people come out, and it turns out it's their car, and they're like, well, we had to be somewhere 2 hours ago, and we have an hour to get there. And I'm like, well, you should have left earlier. But the cats wouldn't come out. Well, they got in their car, and what do you know? Vroom, vroom. Cats become engine food.
Like
we were telling, like, just quirky little... That's,
like, how many?
Disgusting and tragic.
6 cats?
That's just morbid.
What's up, guys? What are you guys talking about?
There's just some, like, weird stuff that's been happening.
Something crazy happened to me. I've got a good story to tell.
What is that?
So, the other day, I was working at the bunker. Slow and boring. So some guy walked in. He went straight for our books on UFOs. Mm-hmm. Didn't say hello or anything. The first question he asks me is if I believe in aliens. And I am sick of that question. I get asked that all the time. So I was just like, I don't know, man. Maybe they're out there. No proof. And then he starts going off, telling this whole story about him and his dad on how they got abducted by aliens. How loud the UFO was, all the lights coming down. And I wouldn't believe him. Nobody would believe this guy. So I asked for proof, and he delivered. He lifted up his shirt, and all down his side and back were scars. It was crazy. Could have been just, makeup or surgery or something.
Or just not aliens.
It could have not been aliens. Listen, with the lights and how loud it was definitely just a helicopter. For sure.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me of another time I was in here, and this guy came over, and he had, like, 2 little packages of candy. It was, like, $5. I mean, not a big purchase, but, and he paid me, and he pulled out his credit card, and we did the purchase, and then he was like, well, where's my change? And I said, dude, you didn't have change. You paid with a card. And he's like, no, where's my change? I gave you cash. And I said, no, you didn't. You gave me a card. And he's like, no, I gave you cash. Where's my change? And I said, buddy, you didn't give me any cash. You paid with your card. And next thing I know, he pulls out this dirty hammer and bang, right over my head. He smashes my head with a hammer. I don't remember what happened after that, but I still have the scar. You want to feel it?
Dude.
Oh, man.
Brittany.
Did you call the police?
No. I mean, I have other...
Could you give me a root beer?
You can get one yourself.
So what are we talking about today, gang?
These weird things that have happened at the museum.
Oh, funny stories. I got a funny story to tell. Happened to me today, actually. This isn't really directed towards anyone specific, but whatever troglodyte closed the register last night, you left these three little things in there called Canadian pennies. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with what country we're in, but we're not in Canada, so we don't accept Canadian pennies. So pretty much someone defrauded you of 3 cents yesterday, and that led to me being 3 cents short all morning. And I didn't even know I was opening this morning because someone, again, I'm not going to say names, Olivia, but they called off sick because whatever, their grandma or whatever. You know, I'm the t-shirt boy. I print the t-shirts. I've crafted this beautiful fortress, my palace, my sanctuary, the sweatshop. Because I'm the shirt boy, we know this. I do the shirts. I don't do registers, and I definitely don't do Canadian pennies. But whatever troglodyte was running the register yesterday seemed to think otherwise. And because they thought they were so smart, and now that we're an international bank, my register was 3 cents short. And I had to do that math all day. I was trying to add, and anytime I had to ring someone up, there was 3 cents in the back of my mind. I just had to keep track of that and wonder where could these 3 pennies be. That's pretty much how my morning started. And I had a bad night too. I had dreams last night where I was strapped down to my table getting tortured with electric needles. And so I had to come from being tortured with electric needles to come to work, where I'm basically being tortured with pennies and copper. So yeah, I would say that's how my morning started. The next time anyone in here sees a penny that doesn't have Abraham Lincoln on it, you take the gun out and shoot the person that gave it to you. Because we're not Canada. We're not Canadians. But if you thought it could get any worse, these 2 men asked for admission into the museum. And I gave it to them because that's my job. And they handed me a $10 bill because admission for 2 is $9.99. And so what I handed him back was a single American penny. And these men looked at each other like I wasn't even there. And he said, if there's one thing us Canadians got right, it's that we don't have a penny. And it took every muscle in my body not to reach over the counter and wring their necks, to squeeze them of everything they're worth. I wanted to tear them apart. I work at the Mothman Museum, so I smiled and I nodded, and I bid them farewell.
So there was 2 Canadians?
Yeah, 2 Canadians.
2? Dude, I had those guys in the bunker. They said they were staying across the river in the hotel.
They're staying here? Across the river?
Yes! We gotta go get them.
Oh, yeah, we gotta teach those guys a lesson. You got the room number?
No.
We'll find them.
We'll find them. Let's go.
I'll get the gun!
Exactly. That's why you were my number one guys.
I don't care. Just let them go.
Okay. I just wish I could drive my car. That's all I want, really. Just don't drive anywhere if you have gas in your car from point.
Well, I don't buy gas over here because the taxes are killer.
Well, so are the cars exploding.
Man, we're gonna teach the Canadians a lesson, aren't we, Odin?
Yeah. Man, this whole gas thing's crazy, right?
Yeah. What gas thing?
You know, the whole the gas making the cars explode thing?
What do you... What's that? My engine explode light just came on.